Chat. Welcome to everybody in the room and welcome to everybody online. So we are now going to start the Beckton Royal Docks People Power Places Our Ideas event. Okay, as it says, People Power Places Beckton Royal Docks Our Ideas. Here we are today. Just an agenda, but before we start the agenda, maybe I should just introduce myself, I'm Lisa Taylor. I'm a Community Neighbourhood Area Manager for Beckton and Royal Docks, and this is what we're going to get through this evening. So for the next 15 minutes, we're going to do a bit of welcome, housekeeping, why we're here. Then we're going to introduce our councillors, corporate leadership team, and working group members. We're going to talk about local priorities, and then we've got a few activities. So for those who in the room have not yet chosen the local priorities or online, there's a chance to do that. We'll then be doing an announcement of what the priorities are going to be for Beckton and Royal Docks, and then with some project ideas. So that could be ideas you've got to lead a project or to develop a project, and then at the end we'll talk about next steps. So a couple of hours with lots of interaction. Thank you. Okay, just a bit of housekeeping. We are doing a hybrid meeting, so these can be a bit complicated. Hopefully we'll get through it fine, signing and sound. So we've got attendees joining online in person. There'll be a chance for some feedback and interaction with our colleagues online. And we've got no fire alarm planned. However, if an alarm does go off, we need to go into the exit in the corner. And this is the one, followed myself and other staff members. I'll be introducing you to people in the room soon. The meeting will be recorded. So if you're online, you can turn off the camera, but of course we'd always like to see you and see your input. Please let us know online and in person if you require British Sign Language. We have Irina and Tony here signing throughout the meeting. Room team facilitators and experts. So we've got a lot. Let me try and see if I can name some. We've got facilitators on each table. Could you just put your hand up, facilitators, please, so that we know who's here? We've got colleagues from Adults and Health, colleagues from the Royal Docks team, colleagues from Youth Empowerment, colleagues from Climate Action, so various people. Then also my library team, Samantha, who's at the back there waving, she's going to come and present soon, Chris and Samuel and Ricky, who are looking after our tech, and then other library members as well supporting. So we've just got a few kind of like what we want to call house rules. So just if you can listen to each other, be respectful, you don't have to agree. However, share what comes to mind, and please do enjoy being part of shaping your community neighbourhood. Okay, next slide. So what is People Power Places? Just wondering, who in the room has been to one of these events before? Could you put your hand up? Here we go. So I should then deduce, shouldn't I, that the rest of you haven't. Put your hand up if it's your first one. Okay, so quite a few new people. Welcome. So just to let you know, it's the Newham Council Participatory Budgeting Programme, and it's actually one of the largest programmes in the UK. We've got £1.6 million of funding to give to residents, voluntary, community and faith sector organisations. And the money comes from developers called Neighbourhood Community Infrastructure Levy, or NCIL for short, we'll call it here. So Beckton and Royal Docks and customers in Canning Town are very lucky and receive an additional £80,000 to split from the Royal Docks team. So more about that soon when we can meet our Royal Docks team colleagues. We've been running since 2018 and have funded over 300 projects. So in the 23-25 cycle, which has just finished, 114 projects were completed, which reached over 54,284 engagements, which we're very proud of. Okay, how does it work? So there's a map of our area here. We cover Beckton, Royal Victoria and Royal Albert. So each of the neighbourhoods in Newham are allocated around £200,000. So residents choose local priorities to shape the types of projects which can receive funding, and residents decide how funding is spent through voting for projects. So anyone who lives or works or learns in the community neighbourhood can take part. Okay, so I think I'm going to give you a break from my voice and call on my colleague Sadia now to come up and just talk you through a little bit about the cycle. Thank you, Sadia.
Thanks, Lisa. Hi, everyone. I'm Sadia Rahman, the Resident Engagement and Participation Manager. And this is the cycle. And we're really excited to be here today and at the start. So today we will be voting for our local priorities for Beckton Royal Docks. And then in July, from the 18th of July, applications will open up until the 14th of September. So residents, voluntary community faith sector groups and youth-led groups can also apply for funding. Then it takes us to a really exciting part where everyone in the local neighbourhoods can vote for the top 10 projects that they want to see happen in their neighbourhoods, and that's called the Big Vote period. And then from March to February 2027, our groups who are successful have the opportunity to deliver the fantastic projects that have been voted through. And then finally, in March 2027, we celebrate all of the achievements across the neighbourhoods. So we went through a really extensive evaluation and co-design process last year, and there have been some changes to the programme in this cycle. And one of those core changes is we have ring-fence funding this time around. So 25% of our projects will be resident-led. Residents can apply for £5,000 for their projects. 25% will be for youth-led projects, and those will be up to £10,000. And 50% will be for our voluntary community and faith sector groups, and they can apply for up to £20,000. Some other exciting changes to the programme is we will be launching an alumni network for past project leads. Now, this is to support our projects who've been successful in past cycles on their community leadership journey, and how they'll continue to deliver great things for our communities in Newham. We've also created a youth advisory board, and we will have Sahara join us in a bit to tell us more about that. And last but not least, we're limiting project leads to get a maximum of 3 times worth of funding. Okay, I'm going to hand over to local councillors, and I think it's Blossom Young today.
Thank you so much. I wasn't expecting to say anything, actually. It's so great to, sorry, my name's Blossom Young. So I'm a local councillor in Beckton Ward. So welcome to Beckton, colleagues from across the Royal Docks. Really great to see you here. And it's really great to see so many people engaged in this process. I was a member of a working group for People Power Places way back when, in its very first kind of iterations, and it's really great to see how the programme has evolved, how many brilliant projects have been supported, and how many people are engaging in shaping what's important in this local area, in other local areas in Newham, and to see that happen. So I'm really excited about priority setting and kind of working out what is most important for us here in Beckton and the Royal Docks. And I know others will be doing the same in other areas of Newham. So I would just really encourage you to get involved and to embrace this programme. So it's brilliant that you're here tonight. Please do tell your family, your friends, your neighbours. There are opportunities here to launch things, to sustain things, to grow things, and the impact of this programme. I mean, just looking at the map and the incredible amount of projects that have been supported in Newham. And this really is about communities investing in their local area and really deciding on those priorities. And that's a really important and really strengthening thing for us here in the area. So thank you very much for being here tonight. Thank you for the incredible things you're going to do with the programme moving forward. And it's great to see you. Thank you.
Thanks, Blossom. I think also we might have Councillor Anne Easter online before we go to Chris. Is that right?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah, great. I'm sorry I can't be with you this evening. It's because I've got to go to something else later on this evening. But I think it's fantastic how people-powered places has grown and developed over the years. Each time it gets better and we become more creative and more professional. And I think we've built and devised and completed some wonderful things. And apart from anything else, people have made friends and met new people that they didn't know before. So I'm so pleased that we're going to, we've launched into this new scheme, not new scheme, a new program, and that there'll be lots of exciting things. I put my preferences in the box, so I should be watching out for them coming up. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Anne. I think that's like all the councillors online. Is that right, Anna? Yeah, Councillor McLean's there. We'll hear a few words from her later. Thank you. Right, okay, so if we go back to the slides, we'll carry on. Don't worry, not too much more talking at you, and then chance for you to have some of those important chats on the tables. So next slide, yes, corporate leadership member. I'm very lucky here to have Chris Palmer. He's just going to come over and talk to us about the role of the corporate leadership team. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chris Palmer. I'm Assistant Director of Communications at the Council. This appears to be a picture of a much older man. Every time I see that, I wonder why somebody's used a picture of my dad rather than a picture of me, as I'm obviously 35 on the inside. This is the first one of these events I've been to, so I'm really interested to see the ideas you come up with, how it works. There's traditionally a member of the corporate leadership team here, and our role will be to act as kind of the friend for the ideas that come through here and see them through the organisation and support them when they need supporting with all the different teams around the council. So genuinely, I'm really interested to see what you come up with, and I think this is a fantastic showing on what's probably the hottest night of the year. Although, to be fair, it's an air-conditioned building, so it's probably a relief to everyone. But thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Okay, and now it's time to welcome some other colleagues, Anila and Ronak from the Royal Docs team. Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa. So hi, everyone. This is just an opportunity for us to say hello and tell you a bit more about the Royal Docs team. My name is Ronak Jassim, and I'm the Interim Community Relations Manager. And I'm joined here by my colleague Anila, who is in our Culture and Activation sub-team. So just for those who don't know, the Royal Docs team is a GLA team, so we work for the Mayor of London, but very closely with the Mayor of Newham as well and Newham Council. And we are supporting the regeneration of the Royal Docs area, so you might see all the big developments and big changes happening. And our role really is to support communities to, play a role in the changes that are happening and to sort of benefit from those really exciting opportunities. And we've topped up the funding, as Lisa mentioned, for both the Royal Docs and Beckton neighbourhoods, and also Canning Town and Custom House. And last year it was just really, really fantastic to see the wonderful projects that were coming through. We're really excited to talk about the projects at the different tables. We've put a handout actually, just one on each table, that gives you an overview of some of the priorities that we're supporting. So we have lots of different projects, such as cultural festivals and even like a food and beverage program, which is about supporting local food entrepreneurs. So it's just an idea, some ideas that might sort of trigger something for you that relate to the other priorities, of course. We're more than happy to have an informal chat with you today or going forward. And, we're really, really keen to build those relationships as we did with the last round of funding. Maybe Anila might want to say a few words.
Just to say that we're very open to you coming to discuss your ideas with us, with the team, if you have any, if you're unsure. And we've got lots of opportunities for engagement on your projects and profiling them. So there's lots of different ways to involve us within your ideas at this stage and later on down the line.
Yeah, absolutely. And you'll see us pop up at all these different events, and some of our colleagues, we are a team of 35 people with lots of different disciplines and projects. So, the team are really, really keen to build those relationships with community because they're vital to kind of the regeneration of the local area. But thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now I'm looking at the back to Samantha. Samantha, I know we agreed to split some slides. How do you feel about doing a bit of presenting? I know you're multitasking. She's photographing, supporting online. Samantha did so much work sort of recruiting the working group. I feel like she needs to come up and talk about it a bit. We do have a working group online and in-house, so.
Hello everyone, I'm Samantha Ulysses. I am the Community Neighbourhood Senior Officer for Beckton and Royal Docks. My colleagues and I, we worked together to recruit the working group, and it was a lovely and amazing experience to get even deeper into the community and start learning more about who people are and what their interests are. So we interviewed about 29 people, and this is the successful working group. And this was our first meeting. Not everyone was present, due to work-life balance, but this is our working group, and as you can see the names here, and we have about 3 working group members who are in the audience today. So we did speak briefly with one saying would they like to come up and say a few words. So Diva, would you like to come up and please share with everyone why you joined and your level of engagement with the community. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm quite new, so apologies. I feel a bit nervous, and I'm very pleased to join Power People and Places, and I feel hopefully as we are all from different places all over, so I hope we all can bring something from background, culture, and interact and build something beautiful together. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Okay, we're going to move on to the next slide. We also recruited a youth advisory board with young people between the ages of 13 to 25. And what we did is we wanted to have an in-depth experience and also a perspective from young people. We have Zara? I can't, sorry, I'm so sorry for mispronouncing your name. Could you like to come up and quickly just share your experience of you joining the Youth Advisory Board?
Hi everyone, my name is Sarah, and I joined the Youth Advisory Board to empower more young people to take initiative and to also get myself more involved in my community. Recently, we've been working on making the applications form more accessible for young people. And we also attended the People Powered Places launch event in order to introduce ourselves and to also outline things we would like to see.
Thank you very much for sharing your experience. Move to the next slide, please. Okay, so we'll be looking at Newham's priorities. So this all comes from the council's corporate plan, and it's Newham's strategy, which is from 2022 to 2026, and it will be based on how to build a fairer Newham. So out of all the categories, we do have 8, but 6 were chosen. So building a fairer Newham has 8 priorities that the council focuses on. Number 1, a healthier Newham and ageing well. 2, Newham's inclusive economy to support you in these hard times. 3, your neighbourhood. 4, a safer Newham. 5, homes for our residents. 6, supporting our young people. 7, people-powered Newham and widening participation. And 8, a campaigning council. So out of these 8, we have 6, and these 6 will are on your table. Can you move to the next slide, please? So the priority themes. So, like I said, with the 6, we have health and well-being, and this is for people in Newham who have a poorer health outcome than the population overall. This theme includes improving health and social care, tackling health inequalities, and responding to the cost of living crisis. It also includes topics such as life expectancy, loneliness, isolation, aging well, and mental health. Inclusive economy. So Newham's employment rate is lower than that of the UK. So we're looking at inclusive economic growth, improving the quality of life for all, and supporting local businesses. This will go further into depth at the back of your theme cards. If I can just quickly show you. Thank you. So here on the theme cards, if you look at the back, it will explain some more in depth. Environment and public spaces. I'd just like to take the moment to acknowledge that Beckton has such a wonderful environment and public space. We have Beckton Park down the road, we have lakes, we have Ichiku Pond. I just want to point to just want to point to Ryan, who's done such amazing things, and he was also a receipt of People Power Places. And through People Power Places, he was able to dredge the pool and to activate more wildlife, to support the wildlife, and to regrow all the plant and soil areas. So if you want any more information, please talk to Brian, and he can show you one of the most beautiful landscapes that we have in Beckton. So in regards to environment and public spaces, this is also including parks, community gardens, and green spaces. And it's, to make our area not only cleaner but safer, because we are very aware of how fly tipping can affect people's physical and mental health. Community safety. So there has been a substantial drop in the proportion of people feeling safe in Newham. We collectively all want to feel safe, and we want, as a community neighbourhood team, we want our residents to come in to the library and share good experiences instead of talking about some bad experiences that they've had. So we are looking at the roots of the issues, such as improving women's safety, tackling the roots of crime and antisocial behaviour, and also raising awareness about hate crime and women's safety. So community safety will look at not only during the day, but also in the night, and including parks and open spaces. Youth empowerment. We all know that the youth are they are the future. We have history, but we also want to build a better future for the youth. So we are looking at making sure that youth feel included, such through our youth advisory board. We have a few young people here as well, but we also want the youth to know that this Newham is the youngest borough. Therefore, we will want to make them feel included as much as possible. So we want to make sure that young people feel safe, happy, and healthy, regardless of their background, and that they are prepared for school and they have high quality childcare. And then community development and participation. We are a community, therefore let's all work together and let's all develop this area. So we'll be looking at themes of increasing people's involvement, a sense of belonging to their local community, improving the sense of getting on well together, and being satisfied with with the area and increasing participation. So this includes topics like volunteering, and we have a volunteering team. If you want further information, we can support you with that. We have a volunteer in the room today. She's just down at the front. She was supporting on registration. And with volunteering, it's not only just coming to events such as this, but this is volunteering across many different things that happen across Newham. And we have a very, very big volunteering team, and they recently became accredited, and they also won like awards. So we're very proud of what we have going on. Please, please join the volunteering team. So this also includes culture, interfaith and interculture dialogue. So we want to have as many engagements as possible and make sure everyone feels included. Thank you. Can we move on to the next slide? So since the 3rd of June, we've had 225 neighbours. They've chosen their local priorities online and in person. So now we are going to have a chance to discuss the priorities with your neighbours, so on the table. And if you haven't already, you can also choose the priorities, and this will be added to what has already been selected. So the local priorities will shape the types of projects that receive funding to meet the community needs and goals. And as you can see on the pictures, this is other events that have happened previously, and this is where residents have chosen their priorities. And choosing your priority will lead on to what projects come forward. And obviously we want everyone to feel not only involved as to vote for your priorities, but for you to engage as project leads and potentially participants of the projects. Next slide, please. Okay.
Right, so this is your chance now. Thank you, Samantha. Okay, so if you can have some chats on your table about the priorities. You've all got facilitators and some experts as well who can support you to understand what the priorities mean. And following a 15-minute discussion, we will then give you an opportunity, if you haven't voted already, to do the voting for your priority via a platform called Mentimeter, which we'll support you with. So please give yourself 15 minutes, have a chat, and think about which priorities are most important to you for the Beckton and Royal Docks area. Thank you. Same online, if you can come back to us in 15 minutes and we will look at what priorities you've been discussing. For a minute or two. Hello, welcome back online. Welcome back in the room. So hope you've had some good chats. I think you have, based on the sounds around the 6 priority areas and which ones you're favouring. Now we're going to ask those of you who've not yet voted to place your vote. So we've got a QR code here, or you've got facilitators on your table who can support you to find menti.com, which is what we're using on your smartphones if you've got one. If not, our facilitators can help you. It's going to be like a quiz show. We're going to see live results coming up very soon. So yeah, please go ahead, scan that. Am I standing in front of that? No? Okay. Right, scan that or get on your phone, get menti.com and online. If you've not placed your vote, it's time to choose your 3 priorities for Beckton and Royal Docks. So we've still got people coming up to the front taking pictures here. I'm going to give you about another 5 minutes. Yeah, and then I'm going to check in and see if everybody's had a chance to do their votes. So 5 minutes, get your votes in, ask your facilitators for support, and then come back and we'll watch the results reveal themselves. Thank you.
For those who haven't already chosen online, I've put a link in the chat. We can't hear you. Yeah. Samuel? We can't hear. We can't hear you. I think we should be able to hear you now.
Okay, I think you can hear me now. Yeah. Everybody had a chance to vote online. Yeah. Okay, great. And everybody in the room. Right. So we're going to have to just spend a minute or two working some magic to sort the figures out. So while we do that, just wonder if any tables want to just give us a little bit of feedback about how the discussions went on their table. Anybody, stick your hand up. Anybody willing to just tell us how things went on their table? Lovely yellow dress at the front, Chris. Oh. There you go. The roving mic and camera are coming towards you.
Hi, I'm Gail. I'm a local resident. I've been here for 25 years, and I have a little business as well, which is an app-based business called Monetize It. It helps people with relationship with money and finances and spirituality using the well-being side of it. My concern around the Beckton area has been that we were once a new area about 25 years ago. And then as time has gone on, we've become now the poor relative. So a lot of funding goes to the rest of Newham. We saw it in the Olympics, we've seen it in Custom House, and we're seeing it for everywhere else. We have recently gone, which you mentioned, the pathway, which has got sorry if I pronounce it wrong, Itchycoo Park, and I hadn't even been there until a couple of weeks ago. Well, not even that. I'm shocked, and it's a very impressive park. So everyone, please go there. The gentleman, thank you. And I think we need to also, I was just saying to the ladies, we should make this Beckton into, instead of the Silicon Valley, let's make it into the Beckton Valley. Bring it a high tech. We've got the university university. We need to also get our silver surfers up to scratch so that they can create businesses. We need community centres where we can have incubators for people who may not be able to have all the resources, but we can allow them to have access. We need youth to be able to become coders, because coding is going to be one of the most important future jobs. Coding to deal with tech engineers and things like that. Let's make Beckton, because this is a central hub. Unfortunately, we are going to be neglected because we've got the city airport coming, so we're going to have a lot of traffic there. We're going to have the DLR new link that's going to bring a lot more traffic. We're having an awful warehouses put there, and we're losing our B&Q. So we're losing the fact that we can buy furniture and things like that too. We will have to go trekking down the road to get, garden furniture and everything like that. So whoever's making master plans, they haven't even discussed it with the local people. They have railroaders, they have railroaders, because I'm in Angelica Drive and I pay maintenance to maintain my area. So I'm paying council tax and maintenance, but where's my taxpayers' money going? So there's a lot of things that we Beckton people aren't being heard. Even the parks. Why was it a gentleman had to get his own initiative and funding when we should have been the council, the taxpayer money as well? We've contributed, especially me, 25 years, and I know there's people here been 40, 50 years. That money we need to see back in Beckton. So let's make us into Beckton Valley and be proud of and upgrade this area, because this is going to be a central hub. And if we don't look after this area, we will have dysfunctional a community who will have mental health issues because we haven't looked after the people. Look after your community first, look after your youth, look after the elders, because the elders have knowledge. And we need that knowledge to help the youth, because even we're seeing in restaurants, people have forgotten how to serve. The pandemic put a disconnect in the communities, and there's a lot of mental health that's going on which isn't coming to the surface. We're having mental health on financials, we're having mental health on not having access to the health, we're having so many things, and I'm sorry, I've seen what's going on, and I'm sorry that I didn't come to represent the community before, but I'm here, and my name's Gail, and I can create a storm because I'm also legally based, and currently the financials that are going on, these counsellors, I'm telling you, you are not doing a good job, you know, because we need the accountability of finances going on, and something has gone wrong. And I want Beckton to start rising like it did, was meant to 25 years, that was promised to the local communities. The people who have all the Galleons Reach and all the high-end stores, or not high-end, major stores, should be giving money to us. Where's the corporate social responsibility?
That's a lot, Gail.
I know, and it's recorded. I know. No, but I'm
It's all there
creating
for
it. You know, I have passion, and
Yeah.
we need to do something.
Yeah, no, we can hear that, and thank you for sharing a bit of your passion with us. I'm just wondering, I'm sure the vote's probably counted up by now, but I'm just wondering, does anybody else want to just come in on their discussion around priorities? Anybody online itching to speak, or are we all just wanting to see the results? Yeah. Okay. Samuel, are we ready to disclose, to reveal? Yes. Okay. Well, we're going to drum roll. Yeah. Okay. Let's do a little. Yeah. Drum roll, and then can we do a countdown? Yeah. Let's start with 10, 9, 8. I only got to 8.
Do it again.
Okay. Did anybody see it? No, I didn't see it. 7.
Hold on. We've got to quickly share. Sorry, we've got to quickly share it. Sorry.
Right, we're getting there. We will get there in a moment. It's too many screens. Okay, can we count now? Can we?
Yeah.
Right, should we just start with 5? Yeah, we've done the others. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm looking at health and well-being, top. Am I in the way, patients? Health and well-being, top. Then I'm looking at community development and participation. Next. And I feel it's community safety. Yeah? Okay. Come on, people are happy here. We'll have a few cheers. Yeah? Well, health and well-being and community development and participation we had last time. But, wow, even with Samantha's rousing speech earlier, we have not got through environment and public spaces. It's quite unusual for us. But community safety, an interesting one. Okay. Deep breath. Are we all absorbing? Okay.
Can I just say, to add,
Yes, you can say, Anna.
that inclusive economy scored the most highly from the in-person, in the room votes. And I think that's pretty impressive. I just wanted to put that as an interesting bit of analysis. But yes, excellent priorities, Beckton Royal Ducks.
Yeah. Well done, everybody, for voting, whether you've already done it in person, online, paper vote. Yeah, sorry, I'm still absorbing it because obviously as neighbourhood teams, we've got this to work with you, the community, for the next 2 years. So health and wellbeing, community safety and community development and participation. Those are quite juicy subjects, priorities that we can work with. Okay, shall we move on to the next? This is over to you again. So what we would like now is to hear about your ideas. So, I mean, we've already heard a little bit from Gail, and I feel that Gail might be a potential project lead. Is that right, Gail? You're nodding your head. You're part of a cooperative, are you? Ah, Gail's a friend of Beckton Park. Nice to meet you. Okay, so we would like now to choose which priority out of the three that I mentioned your table would like to talk about. So, health and wellbeing, community development and participation, and community safety. So, if we can go round, because we do have Charlotte and we have Money, and who else do we have in the room? Obviously, we've got Jazz and Chris, and we just want to sort of like make the most of our experts. And so we're going to arrange you, and obviously online as well, so that we can get people to share any project ideas they might have. So you don't have to have a project idea to be part of this. It's looking at what's feasible. What do we need here in Beckton that fulfills those priorities and in Royal Docs? So, and as a group, please decide on one or two ideas that you want to focus on. And then we will try and make it so that you can stay where you are, but our experts and our facilitators will move depending on their expertise. And we want to look at, is this particular project idea addressing the priority in question? How do we know maybe it's needed locally? What benefits could it bring? Has it been done before? How much funding do you think is required? As we heard Sadia earlier, it's 5,000 for resident projects, 10,000 for youth-led projects, and up to 20,000 for voluntary community and faith centre projects. So can the idea be delivered in 1 year? Because although we've got 2 year cycle, we've got all the work to do around getting the projects over the line, and then we've got the analysis and evaluation at the end. So is the idea a short term or a long term? Does it have a big impact or a small impact? And is it realistic? So over to you. We will help you in the room, and Anna and other colleagues will help you online just to work out how you're going to discuss your priority ideas and projects. And then we'll come back in about 20 minutes after we've had some discussions and find out how people are getting on. Okay, thank you. Idea, but to keep us on time and allow my library staff to go home and good time and get some feedback, we need to pull it back together. So I'm going to now ask for some brief feedback, project ideas from each table and also online. Shall we start online, Anna? Yeah, how's that?
I forgot to ask if people wanted to feedback their own ideas. So would anyone like to feedback their ideas before I summarize them? In Chris's camera. Okay. Right, I'm going to summarize them. So we've had 3 different ideas. One was sort of 3 ideas in one, around creating a community space, helping people feel more informed about what's going on locally, and also improving green spaces. We had one about supporting physical well-being in our green spaces, and how nature improves our mental health. And then our final one was around teaching young people how to make clothes, sew, etc. Also around improving well-being and mental health.
Thank you, Anna, and thank you online. Hopefully we can support those ideas to reach fruition. Right, let's have a look in the room now. If I start with this table, Chris is going to come with his roving mic and his camera, and Gail's got a hand over her mouth. Could we have a brief synopsis of a project idea meeting one of our priorities, please?
Okay, so we looked at community development and participation, and the idea that came up was a pop-up culture garden. And this is all about enacting a mobile stage for spoken word, film nights, cultural celebrations. And it's all about making space for creativity and connection. Lots of discussion, involvement from local groups, residents and local council support would be expected. Different equipment would also be sourced. But the outcome, which is important with this project idea, would be to engage with young people, families, elders, and the cultural diverse community that Beckton and Royal Dock boast. And it's about fostering a belonging of pride and connection. Also to activate underused parks, public spaces, and buildings. And most importantly, and this is like tying in youth empowerment, although this wasn't chosen, it's a platform for local talents. So it's a brilliant idea, one that we can look into in more depth. Thank you, Gail.
Thank you. Amazing. Yeah, a round of applause. Okay, yes, please. Let's move over to this table. And have we got anybody who's maybe willing to feedback a few words about project idea? Thanks, Shamila.
Yeah, we had a great project that we came up with. So the theme is around community safety, thinking about young people, the media, how we can bring young people and the local community together. So like the neighbours, talking about some of the crime that's going on, possibly developing a podcast and some events, and just really getting that conversation going where they can network, get to know each other, really engage and build on that. So it's just an idea, but I guess as we keep talking, there'll be lots of other things that we can bring to the project. But yeah, really good conversation about how young people sometimes get victimized, that they're all there for, but actually, if we look at it in a bigger picture, we have these conversations, we can see that young people are also having the same struggles as residents and neighbours in the community. So yeah, just thinking about how we can bring it all together and keep it positive.
Yeah, thanks, Shamila. Great, another round of applause. So, okay, we've got Danielle's hand up. Danielle's a previous project lead. Hi, Danielle.
Obviously, I always want you to vote for New Wellness, just getting that in there. But we were talking about health and well-being. And I don't know if many of you know, but there's a huge trend within the government about people who have disabilities, whether mental health, physical health, or a learning disability, about them getting back into work. And this is going to affect people in our borough who currently don't have the confidence. They want to do something, they want to give back. So whether that's a voluntary, we can encourage volunteering, whether this gentleman suggested a skills centre, a youth centre. Wesley would like jobs for him and his friends. My daughter is disabled, and because of pain levels, she can't do a regular job, but she wants to contribute to society. She doesn't like the fact it causes mental health, isolation, loneliness. There's so many things, and there are so many people in Newham, and there's older people as well that intergenerational work that could really happen here. And I think that's what I'd like to see. Thank you. Or we'd like to see.
Thanks, Danielle. Okay, do we have another table who would like to give us some feedback?
So we wanted to talk about what we were going to do with the project. So we wanted to grow like a garden in the back area of the youth zone. So we want to like add plants like flowers. Also, we wanted to add like furniture, lighting, just so like we can make it more like of a comfortable place for the young people. And also, yeah, I think like that could just improve the whole area of the youth zone. So yeah.
Thank you. Great to hear. Okay, so we've got a couple more tables to hear from.
Oh, hello.
I have to say I've been super impressed by the ideas that I've heard so far. I think it's a real testament to the communities and residents coming together to formulate ideas which reflect what they need and what they want. So I say all that to say that I want you to listen to my idea because I'm from a youth work charity, and we'd like to bring what we do to support young people in Beckton. So at this table, we are discussing health and well-being, and up until last year, XLP, who I work for, used to bring a mobile youth centre, a double-decker bus, into Beckton for young people, generally between 11 and 17, and it's a fully decked out thing. You can play PlayStation. There's lots of board games. It's run by several youth workers, and so you could also get academic support there, literacy and numeracy support. There's one-to-one mentoring that goes on, and we tended to have that bus next to an active sports area as well, so young people could play football or some other sport, and so go back and forth between the bus. And so in terms of health and well-being, I brought that idea because we'd like to come back to Beckton, and certainly if we were chosen by the people of Beckton, it would be the seed for us to come back. And the thing is about XLP, we commit long term. So for as long as possible, once we're here, we stay here. We've been working in Newham for about 15 years, and we want to continue to do that sort of work. But like I say, I've heard some amazing ideas here, which, if they get voted for, I won't complain. But, that's one of the big ideas that we had here.
Great, thank you. And was there, yeah, that table was still to hear from. Was there an idea for a project over there? Go on, Brenda.
It's okay. It's just I've been put on the spot. So I've got two ideas, and the first one is sewing, which I chose it because I think it's an activity that would empower just about anyone who does it, especially young people. And it builds your self-confidence, and when you're able to make wear your own products, which by the end of it, they'll be able to make their own stuff. There's other sewing stuff available, but I want to teach something that's sustainable. I want to teach, so when I'm finished, you're able to go home and hem your own clothing, sew a button, repair your own products. And that's what I want to do with that one. And it's not just for the young, but for everyone. For those who are lonely and need some place to go. And also, one of the idea is to have a place where you have both the young and the old, because the young can learn from the old, and the old learn from the young. And because we're also talking about building a community, I think it's a good activity that can do part of the community building. And then the other thing that I want to do is tea parties, which have been advised by my lovely team members here, that it can be incorporated at the end of the sewing period. So the periods I want them to be 6 weeks periods where you progress accordingly. So you become familiar with stuff, and then we move on to the next stage where you start making your own things. And then we would have the tea parties, at which time you can display. We can even have a fashion show in between. Yeah, that's it really. And I've been given a lot of advice as to because I'm brand new at this thing. It's just a passion. It's something I'm passionate about. I'm a designer. I started at the age of 8, I'm 56 now, so I'm well experienced, even though I was told I need to have qualifications to teach. But I've been locked in for a very long time. Lisa was the first person who brought me out to my house because I took ill in 2014. I woke up and I'm an earliest professional. I was doing 50 hours a week, and I woke up one morning and not being able to use anything from my neck down for 5 months. And I'm still ill, but having better days. And she invited me to this place and she said, come and meet us, we're having tea. And I went there and there was about 200 disabled people there as well. And I felt really good because I felt so, I felt like my life had finished, because in my culture, when you're sick, you're not something wrong with you and they put you away. So to go there and see that, it was really exciting. And then she told me, you have to go on this course. Yeah, that was another thing. But I did it, and it was from that course. It was a business startup for disabled people. And it was from there that the whole sewing idea came up, that I can teach it, I can use it for my own self, to as a job, that kind of thing. So now the time has come where I've been forced, encouraged, encouraged by my friend, my son. We did a Triple P program together 13 years ago. And so she said to me, you are not going to stay indoors anymore. The time is now. You're getting out. Whether you like it or not, we'll come and get you, we'll push you. So I am here to say that I'm now ready to offer my gift, my talent to the community to empower other people.
Thank you, Brenda. Sorry, can we just share?
Yeah.
She made this.
Yeah.
This is it. We put people on the spot and then we hear amazing stories like that. So thank you so much for sharing, Brenda. It's really important, and it kind of is the whole reason that we're here, isn't it? So anybody not shared? I mean, I think we've had some really fully fledged project ideas there. So this is quite exciting for a start. I think we are reaching the end of our time, but if we go back to the slides, I think we have some next steps that Councillor Charlene is going to share with us. Can we go back? We will get there. Just another. Back to the slideshow. Yep, next slide. Okay, and here we are. Councillor Charlene, are you ready to take us through the last few, please, and just tell us how you found this evening?
Yeah, hi everybody. So I'm Councillor Charlene McLean, as it says on the slides, the Cabinet Member for Resident Engagement and Resident Experience. And it's been really great to hear the ideas. I mean, I joined online, so I wanted to see what it was like to be hybrid, and it was great because I could see from the roving camera what was happening with them. And I think we even had a resident that was present but had to leave, so she joined online so that she could still take part within the process. So just a few points about the next steps. So obviously now we are going to be opening up for people to submit their project ideas. Just get my slides. Do I have slides? If not, I can try and remember what the things are. So yes, so you can apply for funding. So applications open on Friday, the 18th of July, and they close in September. So we're giving you lots and lots of time to be able to come up with your ideas. And this time around, there's different ways that you can submit your application. So you can use Plinth, which is our new platform, which is a lot easier than what we used for, but you can also do videos, or you can do audio, or you can just do it via a Word document. So yeah, there's lots of different ways for you to apply this time around. There will be support clinics again, as we did last year, just to help you. There'll be central support clinics, but also support clinics organised by the neighbourhood, so that you can bounce your ideas off them, and they can assist you to do the best that you can. So yeah, remember your community neighbourhood teams are there to support you. I hope I covered everything. Have I missed anything, Lisa?
Oh, I can do the next slide. Thanks, Councillor Charlene. So why should you apply for funding? Just to quickly say, you can access seed funding to gain community buy-in, to develop your knowledge and skills, and to grow your network. I think we've got one or two more slides. To and fro. Okay, so yeah, Councillor Charlene mentioned the online support clinics. Please take a photo, or hopefully you're on our mailing list, you'll get information about this. We've got one specifically for the voluntary community and faith sector led projects, which is on Tuesday the 22nd July, 5 to 7. Another for resident led projects on Thursday the 24th of July, 5 to 7. And another for youth led projects on Wednesday the 30th of July, 5 to 7. Okay, and we really would like your feedback. There should be papers on the table. We've got the ubiquitous QR code. We always like to try and improve our events and our engagement, so we really appreciate your feedback. And I believe that's the last slide. Is that right? So yes. Okay, so please just give yourself a round of applause, and everybody online, and just say thank you for coming along. Just to reiterate, our priorities are, Samantha, remind me, they are
health and well-being,
community development and participation, and community safety. So go get applying and planning, and well done for taking part and being involved.
Thank
you, everybody.
everyone.
Good night.
Thank you.